Muy buenas tardes, queridos estimados participantes, dar la cordial bienvenida a cada uno de ustedes, felicitarles por ingresar de manera puntual a nuestra segunda sesión de clase, el curso gratuito de inglés avanzado C1. Así como estamos, como nos encontramos, seguramente estamos muy felices por empezar nuestra segunda sesión. Para nosotros es un honor tenerlos a cada uno de ustedes, es un honor poder servirlos. Nosotros estamos ubicados en Andahuaylas, Apurímac. Tenemos oficina principal y propia en el Girón de Ayacucho, número 528, Andahuaylas, Apurímac, Perú. Para todos aquellos que nos quieren ver y también conocernos. Por otro lado, tenemos convenios con distintas instituciones de las cuales son parte de los cursos gratuitos. Asimismo, les presento a todo el equipo que vienen trabajando con mucho amor para cada uno de ustedes. Asimismo, invitarles a seguir nuestra página, que ya contamos con más de 25 cursos gratuitos habilitados para el mes de diciembre. Por favor, aprovechar al máximo los cursos gratuitos. Pueden invitar a sus amigos, familiares o amistades, o si no, para mayor información, por favor, comunicarse con el siguiente numerito que está en la pantallita para poderlos ayudar a cada uno de ustedes. Asimismo, invitarles a ser partícipe de este gran sorteo. Este año estamos cumpliendo un año más de aniversario en nuestra institución, el 5 de diciembre. Para que usted pueda ser partícipe de este gran sorteo, primeramente tiene que cumplir los 3 pasos. Comenta tu experiencia y etiqueta a tus 3 amigos, comparte la publicación que sea público y síguenos en nuestras redes sociales para que usted pueda ser partícipe de este gran sorteo. Comunicado importante, ojito aquí, sí, nosotros como institución no hacemos llamadas y tampoco enviamos mensajes personales. Quien les habla, quien les saluda, soy la asistente académica Mónica Costa, quien les estará acompañando en el curso. Para cualquier duda o consulta, por favor, comunicarse con mi persona con el siguiente numerito que está en la pantallita para poderlos ayudar a cada uno de ustedes. El día de hoy nos va a impartir una hermosa clase y también su conocimiento es la maestra Jenny. Y asimismo, no se olviden de nuestros horarios y frecuencia. Martes y jueves, horario de 4 a 6 de la tarde, tendremos 2 semanas de nuestra capacitación. Asimismo, les recomiendo que tomemos una foto o una captura del temario para que tengamos en cuenta los temas que estaremos aprendiendo durante nuestras 2 semanas de capacitación. Sobre nuestra metodología, recuerda que la clase también es grabada y se estará enviando a su grupo de WhatsApp para que usted pueda repasar y poner en práctica. Asimismo, ya se envió el material, por favor ya vayan descargando. Si a su grupo de WhatsApp se envía toda la información. ¿Sí? Asimismo, al finalizar el curso, usted dará un examen para que pueda tramitar certificado de manera opcional. Así, al finalizar el curso, usted obtendrá un certificado con mención en inglés avanzado C1 a nombre de nuestra institución. El certificado sale con 90 horas académicas. Si usted me pregunta, señorita, ¿por qué sale con 90 horas académicas? Claro que sí sale, porque cuando usted va a tramitar tendrá como regalo el campus virtual habilitado por más de 2 años. ¿Cómo estaremos en contacto? Por esa razón sale con 90 horas académicas. Para que usted pueda tramitar, tiene que tener una nota mayor e igual a 14. El costo es muy simbólico de 30 soles. Y recuerda que el trámite es opcional, ¿sí? Pero como institución le recomendamos que tramiten. Recuerda que el certificado avala tu conocimiento. Como ya lo he mencionado, los participantes que van a tramitar tendrán como regalo el campus virtual. En el campus virtual usted va a encontrar materiales, manuales y también recursos adicionales. Y también recuerda que el certificado cuenta con un sistema de código de validación, que es el código QR. Para mayor información, por favor, comunicarse con la oficina de certificación con el siguiente numerito que está en la pantallita para poderlos ayudar a cada uno de ustedes. Asimismo, hacemos envíos a nivel nacional. Si de manera digital se envía su WhatsApp personal por PDF, y por otro lado que hacemos envíos de manera física a nivel nacional. Nuestra institución trabaja con la empresa Shannon. Sí, muy buenas tardes, queridos estimados participantes, dar la cordial bienvenida a cada uno de ustedes y felicitarles por ingresar de manera puntual a nuestra segunda sesión de clase. Para empezar, nuestra tarde y nuestra segunda sesión. Muy bendecidos, empezaremos con nuestra cita bíblica. Todo lo puedo en Cristo que me fortalece. Filipenses capítulo 4, versículo 13. Me acompañan con una pequeña oración, inclinen su rostro y cierren sus ojos. Así hay que pedir por cada uno de nosotros. Padre amado, bendito sea, muchas gracias por un día más de vida. Bendice a cada uno de los participantes, bendice a todo el equipo y bendice a todas las personas que necesitamos de ti. Danos sabiduría, danos paz a sí mismo, ayúdanos a ser mejor persona día a día y también perdona los pecados en tu nombre, tu Jesús. Amén, amén a todos. Y en breve se estará conectando la maestra Jenny para que nos pueda impartir una hermosa clase el día de hoy. Muy buenas tardes, profesora Jenny, ¿cómo está? Bienvenida, le cedo el espacio, por favor, puede activar su audio y asimismo compartir su pantalla.
Good afternoon, Ms. Monica and students. How are you today? I hope you are fine. Let's start with our session today. Can you see the screen? Yes. Okay, let's continue. Welcome to our second class. Today we are going to work on coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. Give me a second, please. I forgot to do something. Okay. Let's do that. Can you see the screen? No, I think so. I don't think so, right? Let's see. Let's share again. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, let's start. Some classroom rules that you already know: be on time, ready to learn, respectful, ask questions if you have any doubts, and believe on yourself. Let's start with our welcome time. Welcome everyone who understands that learning knows no boundaries. Despite the physical distance, because we are having our virtual class, we are united by our passion for learning. Welcome everyone who is ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities that online learning offers. Welcome everyone who believes in the power of education to transform lives. Once again, welcome everyone who has chosen to be a part of our online class. Let's make this a memorable and enriching experience for all. Welcome everyone, welcome everyone. So good afternoon to everyone, and let's start our class. What are coordinating and sub-coordinating connectors or conjunctions? Do you have any ideas? Can you tell me what is this? Have you ever heard of them? Do you use them in your sentences? Do you use them when you speak or write? Any ideas? Okay, let me check. Let me see the chat. Some words to help us connect the ideas. Very good. They are used to connect clauses. Excellent. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so you have the idea of what are connections or connectors. Very good. So, they are words, as you said, used to link different parts, right, of a sentence, or as you said, clauses. They help to establish relationships between ideas, add coherence to writing, and also create a smooth flow of information. That's the way. Here on this small drawing or picture that you have, I consider some of this conjunction, like since, yet, and because, for, but, until, and however. Do you know any other conjunctions? Can you write what other conjunctions or connectors do you use? For example, in our previous class, we use fanboys, right? We use these connectors. But do you know any others? ¿Conoces algunos otros? Other conjunctions? Mhm. If, I, very good. Mhm. If, excellent. Mhm. Good, very good, Victor, Adriana, thank you. Okay, you are right. As I mentioned in our previous class, we work with coordinating connectors, the typical or the famous fanboys, right? Each letter of this acronym means something, is representing a connector. Okay, so today we are going to learn subordinating connectors. The subordinating connectors include many other words. For example, they use because. You can use because. You can also use if, as you mentioned in the chat, although, when, while, since, unless, until, whereas, since, among others. There are lots of these connectors that we can learn, study, and review. These connectors play a crucial role in sentence structure and help to create complex sentences that convey more complex ideas and relationships between different parts of a text. In our previous class, we learned about fanboys, so today we are going to learn. Our first class was about fanboys, so today is going to be a white bus. A white bus is what we are going to learn. If you can see in this picture, a white vase, it's going to represent a conjunction. Each letter, for example, A is going to be for although, after, as, and the WH you will have where, wherever, whenever, each word. Okay, let me see. We have a clear example. I think it's in the, okay, over here. So over here you can see what you have in each letter. For example, A, you will have although, right? You will have as, you will have after. These are the ones you are going to use with A. When you have WH, so you will have a different list. You will have whenever, wherever, whenever, when, whereas, and which. Under the letter I, you will have these ones. You will have if, in case, in order that, right? And then after the letter, or with the letter T, you have these ones, right? You have though, till, that. And also under the letter E, you will have two expressions, even though and even if. With the letter B, for the last part was, you have before, and also you have because. Right? With the letter U, you will have until and unless. And finally, with the last letter, with the letter S, you will have since. Mhm. This is the acronym for a white bus. So I'm going to share this link so that you can watch the video. Mhm. Let's see if we can share the link over here. Mhm. Right. And let's put it in the very good. So then, okay, this is a video that you can watch about the a white bus. It's a song that you can use to review pronunciation of these connectors or conjunctions. You can watch the video for a while. It's shorter, it's not longer. You can watch. I'm going to give you some minutes to learn. Mhm. Very good. Mm. While we watch the video, I'm going to put this. Mhm. Some examples of these connectors or conjunctions. When we use these connectors, when we use these subordinating conjunctions, we are talking about clauses, as you put it in the chat. In the chat, I read that somebody says it's used to connect clauses. Very good. So we have two different types of clauses, ¿verdad? Tenemos dos tipos de cláusulas. One is going to be independent and the other is going to be dependent. So when we talk about independent clauses, that means that it already has the structure of a sentence. So it's independent because it already has a subject plus a verb, and also has a complement. So it's a complete thought, it's a complete idea. That's why it's independent. When we talk about dependent clause, that means that the idea is not completed. So if you use it, your intention or the meaning or the message that you are trying to convey, it's loose. It's not going to be understood. So that's why it says dependent. And when we talk about dependent clause, that it's the time you use the conjunction. This is where you use the conjunction, as you can see here in this example. It says, because it was raining. If you only say this, because it was raining, that is a dependent clause. So your idea is not very clear. The people, it's going to ask you, okay, but what are you trying to say? When you just mentioned because it was raining, something is happening. So because it was raining, I decided to stay indoors. Also, I want you to pay attention because when we use dependent clause and independent clause and we put it together, that is called complex, right? Complex sentences. And if you are gonna use, for example, the conjunction at the beginning, what do you see in my sentence? See, also, if I use this conjunction at the beginning, what is different? What do you see after my dependent clause? What do you see? What am I using after the dependent clause so that I can connect the other idea? What am I using? Let me see your answer. I'm using a comma. Very good, Wes. After the dependent clause, I'm using a comma because it was raining. To connect the idea of the independent clause, I need to use a comma right here. Because it was raining, I decided to stay indoors. Very good. And then I put my answer of this. Oh, I complete my thought. Because it was raining, I decided to stay indoors. Or because it was raining, I decided to watch a movie. Or I decided to call my mom. Any idea that makes sense? Okay, let's continue. But this is pretty much what happened here. This is our second example. Although she studied hard, again, look at this. We are using a comma. If you don't use a comma, that's going to be like a run-on sentence. It's not going to be the idea very clear because if you say, although she studied hard, she didn't perform well on the test. Well, in a spoken part, it's not going to be seen, but when you do some writing, when you do some papers or some tests, you need to use the comma because the sentence is not going to be grammatically correct. Okay? Very good. Although she studied hard, comma, she didn't perform well on the test. Okay, how can you complete this sentence if you see only the dependent clause? Okay, imagine that I only put this. Although she studied hard. What's your idea? What will be your independent clause? Can you write the answers in the chat? If you said, although she studied hard, excellent. Although she studied hard, she didn't pass the test. Very good. Very good, Wes. Thank you for your answer. Any other ideas? Although she studied hard, she got a lower score. Could be also, right? Very good. Next. After he finished his work. After he finished his work, he went for a walk in the park. Also, you see the intention, you're using the dependent clause and you're using comma. I'm going to ask you this. Can you put this sentence in the other way, in another way? Or it always the conjunction has to be at the beginning? Is there another position of the conjunction in the sentence or always right there at the beginning? Only here? You can use after only there? How can you put this sentence in a different way? Very good. Exactly. And what happened? What happened when you do that? What happened if I try to change the position of the elements in this sentence? For example, I'm going to say independent clause first and dependent clause later. For example, he went for a walk already. Excellent, without comma. Perfect. He went for a walk in the park. If here you are going to use after. So that means that we are going to drop the comma or we are going to eliminate the comma, because you only use the comma. You only use the comma if you start your sentence with a dependent clause. That means with a conjunction. After he finished his work. That's the correct way of writing this sentence, moving the elements. So now, if you can see, I've started with the independent clause. And then I have after. Over here, I have after. And then I finish the other with the other elements. So, very good. Let's continue. How are you feeling so far? Are you getting the idea of dependent and independent clause? Yeah. If you have any trouble, let me break it down so that you can understand much better this type of sentences. Sometimes it's difficult, but if you practice, you will get used to it. Okay. So a dependent clause, as I said, is a subordinate clause, and it's a clause with two specific qualities. How do you consider a dependent clause? Firstly, is it does not express a complete unit of thought. That means it's incomplete. So it cannot stand as its own sentence. Secondly, it depends upon an independent clause. One sentence that can stand on its own, okay, to form a complete idea. That's why you said dependent. Dependent because you need another sentence so that you can have the idea clear. If independent and dependent clause could be likened to Batman and Robin, the dependent or subordinating clause will be Robin. Okay, Robin is gonna be the dependent of subordinate. So who is going to be the independent main clause? That's gonna be Batman, right? The boss, the superhero boss. So here the idea is much clearer. We have some subordinating conjunctions that show cause and effect. And that subordinating conjunction is because. Because is going to show you the effect of something. Because it's a conjunction with just one purpose, to show a cause and effect relationship between a subordinate clause and a main clause. If you start a sentence just using the word because, that's going to be incomplete. Okay? For example, if you say this, because he wouldn't wear a seatbelt. Because he wouldn't wear a seatbelt, it's incomplete. I don't get the idea. What do you mean? The people will normally ask you, what do you mean? What are you trying to say with that? So you have to complete your idea. Robin wasn't allowed in the Batmobile any longer because he wouldn't wear a seatbelt. Or you can start the sentence with because. Because he wouldn't wear a seatbelt, Robin wasn't allowed in the Batmobile any longer. So, as I said before, you need to decide which conjunction are you going to use, and also you need to decide if you are going to make complex sentences. If you are going to make complex sentences, you are going to need two clauses. That's the only intention or better explanation about this. For example, over here, showing cause and effect, you have this. I'm explaining to you that Robin wasn't allowed in the Batmobile any longer. That's an independent clause because if you can read it, you will get the idea. The second one, on the other hand, it's kind of weird because he wouldn't wear a seatbelt. So it's dependent because it doesn't express the idea completely. Okay. Other subordinating conjunctions that can show or help you show cause and effect relationship. I'm going to give you this list and it's gonna work the same thing as because. For example, since Robin refused to wear his seatbelt, Batman has banned him from the Batmobile. So, as they mentioned, over here, you can also say because. You can use all of these conjunctions and they're going to have the same meaning as because. Since, though, due to, provided that, because of, unless, so, and so that. This list that you have here is going to help you what? It's going to help you replace because. So instead of using in many of your writing because, you can choose one of these and make some variations. Is that clear? So you have a lot of combinations. We can use it at the end. Yeah, yes. Okay, very good. Thank you. So you have a variation right here for the expression or the conjunction because. Good. Let's continue. Subordinating conjunctions that signal relationships of time or place. Another function of subordinating conjunctions is this, is to show a relationship between two clauses involving what? A transition of time or place. Some examples of such subordinating conjunctions are once, while, when, whenever, where, wherever, before, after. These are just some examples. You know that English has a lot of words that we can learn. But if we learn a few of them and we play with them in our conversations or writings, it's going to be coherent and very interesting to read what you are showing to your friends, showing to your boss, or showing to your teacher. Okay. So another example. Once Batman learned that Robin had not been wearing his seatbelt, he took away his keys to the Batmobile. So you use it right here at the beginning, the conjunction once. And also you over here, you use a comma, right? We can forget a comma because we are starting with the subordinating conjunction once to talk about time or place, right? Another example with this preposition of these conjunctions. Robin looked regretfully at the mobile whenever he passed it in the bat cave. Mhm. So now we are using whenever we are talking about time. Mhm. Another preposition, I think it's after, right? After Batman was done working for the night, Robin took a secret ride in the Batmobile. Mhm. So also we are talking about time. After you finish doing something, another event happens, right? It is. Before Robin gets his job in the Bat Cave back, must promise to stop playing with Batmobile. Another intentions about this with the prepositions or with the conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions. Also, as I said, they can be interchangeable, right? You can use independent first and then dependent or vice versa. Okay, as I was explaining, comma placement and subordinating conjunctions. Many of you have said that when you, for example, subordinating conjunctions that fall in the middle of a sentence are generally not preceded by a comma. Okay, in the example that I show you, if I'm using because, although, after, whenever, whatever, if in the middle, you are not going to use this little body over here, no commas. This is the opposite of what is done with coordinating conjunctions or words that join two independent clauses, like the fanboys. Okay, so be careful about it. When a subordinating clause begins a sentence, however, the whole clause, but not the subordinating conjunction itself, is followed by a comma. Okay, try to review this little advice. Okay, read carefully this part so that we can understand how to use commas when and when it's not needed. Okay. Mhm. What do you think about these sentences? It's okay when I said incorrect, or do you have any objections about this? When I say incorrect, do you agree or disagree? And why is that? Why is incorrect? Disagree. Very good. Mhm. Mami, no comer algo. Exactly. But where do I have to put the comma? It's okay to put a comma right here. Excellent. After a wait. So, what do you think about this one? The green sentence. The green sentence, do you agree or disagree? Agree or disagree? The green one is perfect. Very good. The comma is in the place it should be, right? It should be after a wait, as you mentioned. Right here. Mhm. Okay. In the second, my number two sentence, or my number three right here, my number two, it's incorrect. Do you agree or disagree? Excellent. Mhm. So it's incorrect. As you mentioned, it's incorrect. Why is incorrect? So that means that you agree with my green one. Are you, do you agree with this sentence? Excellent, agree. Very good. How can you write this green sentence in a different way? Is it is it possible or not possible to write my green sentence in a different way? How will you do it? Very good. Very good. Yes, we can use because. Also, another way to write this sentence is when we start with the conjunction, right? Whenever Batman was away, I have to stop right here because I have to put a comma. Robin drove Batmobile. Mhm. That's another way to write the green one. Very good. Excellent. So let's continue. Let's do. Here, I'm sharing with you a handy list of subordinating conjunctions that you can study, that you can review at any time. Okay, let's move on. One's also solved. Very good. Mhm. Now, let's do some practice. Fill in the blanks. Can you help me to complete the sentences? Number one. Mhm. So, very good. Mhm. Excellent. Mhm. Okay, number two. Mhm. Very good. Very good. Mhm. Because. Number three. Number three. But, okay. Number four. Unless, oops, unless I finish my work on time, I'll join you at the party. Yeah. What about number 5? Excellent, Stefania. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, very good. Although he was tired, he stayed up late to finish the project. Very good. Okay, let's see. Do we have more examples? Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's try to combine these sentences. Where to put because, where to put so, although, and even though. How can you complete number 1? Can you write your answers? Mm-hmm. Any other ideas? Excellent. Uh-huh. Very good, Victor. So, both ideas, what Wiz and Victor said, are possible, right? Because you will say, because female models in clothing arts are very thin, comma, girls want to be very thin. Or also so, females models in clothing arts are very thin, so girls want to be very thin. Mhm. Excellent. What about number 2? Number 2? Mm-hmm. Lottery ads shows people winning a lot of money, right? That's what they normally do to capture your attention. But even though most people don't win any money, or they hardly ever win, right? But it's not pretty common that every time they make the lottery, people won money. Mhm. Excellent. Exactly. I think many people play, but not many people are very lucky to win the whole pot, right? What about number 3? Excellent. Because and so. Number 4. Even though. Mhm. Excellent. Now, what do you think about this? What energy drinks do you know? Very good. Very good. Excellent. Do you drink any of this excellent beverage? Do you drink? No? Mhm. Perfect. So, what's your opinion about this? Should energy drinks be consumed by teenagers? The ones that you mentioned. Teenagers should drink this? No. I believe that average people, right? Average people don't shouldn't drink these energy drinks, right? What will be the reasons? What will be the main reasons for not drinking this kind of beverages? Contain a lot of caffeine. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. They have a lot of sweetness. Very good. Bad for your health. Good point. Mhm. What do you recommend to do? What do you recommend to do instead of drinking these beverages? Drink only water? They should drink water instead. Very good. Water, fruit juice, natural juices. What's your favorite juice? Mine is orange. What about you? Excellent. Extremes sometimes are bad for your health. And drinking this type of beverages too much is it's going to cause you a lot of trouble in your health. Strawberry juice, yummy. Blackberry juice, nice. Strawberry bananas, good. hmm Excellent. Pineapple juice, good. Juicy, right? hmm So I have lots of games over here that we are gonna use so that we can practice this presentation. So I'm gonna share some of them in the chat so we can start practicing. Okay. So then, wait. Okay, let's start with our first one. Okay, I'm gonna put it over here. Did you get in? Yes, very good. Okay, click on the start button and we can start little practice. Let me know when you finish the practice so that I can share another link for you. Okay, this is like a review from our previous class because it says coordinating conjunctions, fanboys. Subordinating conjunctions, what we are learning today. Fanboys. Now I think. What else? What? Maybe. What else? So? Or, right? Or the F. Or Y. Something else here in fanboys? Oh, that's okay. Something else I should add here? Or no? That's all. Excellent. That's all because it says fanboys, right? And it's supposed to be one connector for each letter. So I already have my fanboys. Okay, so that means that the rest is going to be like, although it's going to be right here, do, before, after, yes, when, since, with. Let's check answers. Excellent, right? Did you finish this game? Did you finish the first game? Yes, very good. So please move on to our second game. Okay, over here, our second game. Let's do our second game. Okay, for simple sentence, where do I put simple sentence? One complete thought with a subject and predicate. Simple sentence. Yes, right? Or where did you put or? Very good. I'm following you. If you put something in the chat, I will do it. Okay. The last sentence. Or connects two choices. What about but? Mhm. Compound sentence. Second. Two simple sentences joined with a comma and conjunction. Very good. What about so? Right here, number 4 means the same as but, connect two ideas that go against each other. Let's see. Comma. Third, very good. The punctuation mark that comes before a conjunction. Very good. What about and? Connects two ideas that go together. Or three or six. Yet. And nor over here connects two negative ideas. Means the same as not. Submit answers, yes or no, or you want to change something. Okay, take a look before we submit answers. Submit answers, let's check. Yeah, so and yet change, right? That's what you mentioned. So and yet. So we need to, if you want, you can check again this little game and practice even more. Okay, so let's do this. The third game. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna share the link. And this is gonna be our last. Okay, let's read the answers or the questions. What about number one? We are going swimming. So, I'm wearing my new swimsuit. There's a mistake over here, right? But the letter S is missing. Okay, next. I decided to wear a scarf. For it was cold outside. I like Winston. Here, but the warrior was tired, yet still continued to fight. I am not hungry. Mhm. The dish was dirty. So we move so right here. We change, right? The dish was dirty and I cleaned it, or so I cleaned it. Finally, the cat could climb down the tree. Not only once, not twice. So that's why I move. You say so was here at the beginning. So, and then you mention over here, so I move it. So that's why I'm asking you, do I move so? Do I keep so here in the first sentence, or what should I do? I think it fits right here, right? But if you say the dish was dirty or I clean it, it doesn't make any sense because remember that or is for choices, for options. So number one could be and yeah, very good. It makes more sense because it says we are going swimming and I'm wearing my new swimsuit, right? And the last one will be or. Do you want to change something or you are okay with that? Submit? Yes, let's check. Perfect. You won the game. Good. Our last part. She loves cats, but she cannot play with them. Mhm. Oh, this is automatically. If you say something, they're gonna say to you if that's right or wrong. Okay. Are you ready for the test? I think we have it. The math period. Okay, good. Number 3. Perfect. Whenever it snows. After, therefore. Very good. See. Since it's too late to go to the movies, let's watch Disney Plus. It's very cold outside. Therefore, I'm staying inside. Yes. Mhm. Next. I eat some vegetables. Sometimes, even if I don't like them. Good. Number 7. Okay, what do you say? Although we had parked in the parking lot. Good. Next, number 8. Mm-hmm. Good. I couldn't decide whether to wear my coat or my sweater. I was already at work. I realized I didn't have on a belt. Good. The last one. Perfect. Good. Game complete. Thank you so much for your participation. It has been a lovely activity for you and for me as well. Let's continue with our presentation. Good. Let's start with this. This is gonna be like a role play. Cake baking disaster. Hmm? Hey Alex, do you remember the time we tried to bake a cake? Oh, absolutely. It was a disaster because while we had all the ingredients, we forgot to preheat the oven. And then, as soon as we put the cake in, the smoke alarm went off. Right. It was so embarrassing because even though we opened all the windows, the neighbors still thought we were trying to summon a fire breathing dragon. Yeah, and then when we finally managed to take the cake out of the oven, it was as hard as a brick. True. It was so rock solid that even though we tried to cut it with a chainsaw, it felt like we were excavating a fossil. And to make matters worse, when we tasted it, it was so dry that we needed a gallon of milk just to wash it down. I know. It was like trying to swallow a mouthful of sawdust. But you know what, Sam? What, Alex? Even though our cake was a disaster, it was still the most fun I've ever had in the kitchen. Agree. Our cake may have been as tough as a battleship, but the memories we made that day are as sweet as frosting. Exactly. So, when are we attempting our next culinary adventure? How about next week? But this time, we'll follow a recipe instead of winging it. Sounds like a plan. Let's hope we don't accidentally summon any dragons this time. Fingers crossed. Okay, what was the dialogue about? What was this role play about? Mhm. About baking a cake. Uh-huh. Was it delicious? Was a delicious cake? No. Mhm. As you were reading, or as I was reading and you were listening to it, do you see that the author is using like similes, like the one Stephanie has wrote down or has written in the chat? It was burned. Yeah, exactly. It was hard as a brick. It was hard as a brick. That's like a simile or a metaphor when you are comparing something, right? When they mention it was hard as a brick, obviously that you know that it's not really good to eat, right? Because it's gonna cause you some indigestion in your stomach or cause you some pain in your stomach, right? What other similes can you find in this role play? Excellent. Uh-huh. A fire breathing dragon. Good. Excavating a fossil. Mhm. For example, right here, swallow a mouthful of sawdust. Excellent. Mhm. Good. I love this one. As sweet as frosting, as tough as a battleship. Yeah, that's another good one. Mhm. As tough as a battleship. When something is really, really hard, right? Really hard, you'll say, okay, this task or this assignment from the teacher is as tough as a battleship, but finally I managed to crack it down. Summon any dragons. Yeah, very good. And also here there is an idiom, right? Fingers crossed. What is that? Excellent. You don't want something bad to happen. Mhm. Okay, who can help ways with the meaning of winging? Huh? Any ideas? Let's see it in the intention right here. Uh-huh. Instead of winging it. What do you understand by this expression? Can you help me out? Have you used this before? How about next week? Sam says. But this time, we'll follow a recipe. We'll follow a recipe instead of winging it. What will you say? Improvising? No following the recipe, improvising. Just make it by following your instincts, maybe winging it. hmm Good. Excellent. Uh-huh. So, did you like the role play? Do you like baking? Have you ever baked before something? A cake, some cookies? No? Hmm. Okay, let's continue. Let's do some reading. Okay. Once upon a time, in a small, quirky town, there lived a man named Bob. Bob was a bit peculiar because whenever he sneezed, something unusual happened. One sunny morning, Bob woke up feeling a bit congested. He knew that sooner or later a sneeze was coming. He tried to go about his day as usual, but the urge to sneeze kept growing stronger. What's a sneeze? What is the meaning of this word? A sneeze was coming. Really, Mercedes? Did you eat it or not? Excellent, estornudar. Mercedes, did you eat your salty cake or not? Some kind of allergy, right? A sneeze was coming. No. Okay, one sunny morning, Bob woke up feeling a bit congested, right? So, sneeze is like you say, something that happens in your nose, right? When you have an allergy, when you are with a cold or with the flu, you sneeze constantly, okay? As he was walking down the street, Bob suddenly felt that unmistakable tickle in his nose. He desperately searched for a tissue, but it was nowhere to be found. Panic set in as Bob realized that at any moment he might unleash his unpredictable sneeze. Mhm. It says right here, he desperately searched for a tissue. What is he looking for? Excellent. A tissue, something to cover his nose in case you sneeze. Mhm. Just as he was about to let out a gigantic achoo, a group of birds perched on a nearby tree sensed the impending sneeze. They decided it was the perfect time to prank Bob. So they synchronized their tweets to coincide with his sneeze, creating a symphony of chirps that sounded like a choir in the middle of a performance. What happened right here? What happened with Bob? And what happened with the birds? And what's the meaning of prank? Prank Bob. Lots of new words. Prank. Bob had a flu. Yeah, had the flu. He's looking for a tissue. He's going to sneeze. But every people sneeze. Something peculiar about Bob, right? So, gigantic shoe. Prank, very good. They are teasing Bob. They are pulling his leg. Okay, let's continue with the story. Bob sneezed. Bob sneezed, and it was an explosive one, but instead of the usual chaos that followed his sneezes, something magical happened. The birds' synchronized tweets turned his sneeze into a harmonious melody that echoed through the town. People passing by couldn't believe their ears. They stopped and stared, their jaws dropping. Bob, still in shock, looked around and realized that somehow his sneeze had become a viral sensation. The townsfolk cheered and applauded him, making him feel like a celebrity. From that day on, Bob's sneezes became a regular attraction in town. People gathered around him, waiting for the next performance. Bob even started taking singing lessons, turning his sneezes into delightful songs. And so, in this peculiar town, Bob's peculiar sneezes became a source of joy, laughter, and music, reminding everyone that even the quirkiest of traits can bring happiness into our lives. Mhm. Okay, so if you have read this story, I found like many words that I would like to share with you. Couldn't believe their ears. What's that? Jaws dropping. Townsfolk. The quirkiest of traits. Excellent. Sometimes also people say, I couldn't believe my eyes, right? Using another part of your body to say something. Or when you look something that is unbelievable, amazing, awesome. You can say, I couldn't believe my eyes, right? In this case, they are using another part of your body. That's ears. It's because you are not seeing something, you are hearing something. So that's why you say, I couldn't believe my ears. Your voice is fabulous. Your song is amazing. The way you sing, oh, it's awesome, right? Excellent. Jaws open is when you are totally surprised about something and you cannot believe that's happening, right? That's jaws dropping. Townsfolk, excellent. All the people that live in the same town as you. Townfolk. Excellent. Would be the citizens, the residents of the town. Mhm. Good. The other one, I say no more, right? Oh, the quirkiest of traits. And the last one, very good. Thank you for participating. Excellent. Mhm. Your personality is totally different, and everyone is different. And that's okay, right? It's okay. So, what will be the message from this story? Excellent. Turn a negative situation into a positive one. Also, accept people the way they are. You can go around changing people or changing their ways of behaving or acting. People are like that, and we need to embrace the diversity that we have in our city or society, right? Yes, rare or weird characteristics. Mhm. Good. So, for you, what would be the most appropriate title for this story? What would be, number one, the most appropriate title for this story? Excellent. Look the positive way of different situations. Mhm. The silver lining, right? The silver lining of all bad things. A melodious sneeze. I love that, Nicole. Thank you. Another ideas? A peculiar sneeze. Wow. Nice. Raquel. Good. What makes Bob unique in the story? A great sneeze, a singular sneeze. Good. The singing sneeze also. Mhm. And what makes Bob unique? Aha, a great sneeze. How does the author use humor in the story? You also mentioned, right? Excellent. He's so peculiar when even the birds make prank of him, right? Yeah, that's what happens sometimes with people, right? They try to make you feel uncomfortable or make you feel bad, but from that situation you get the best part of it. Okay, you don't see it like they want you to make feel bad. Instead of that, you see, okay, I'm gonna see the positive side of this. If I have this problem, maybe I'm gonna change my negative situation, or the negative situation is happening into a nice one. Good. Why do you think the townspeople reacted so positively to Bob's sneezes and the bird's tweets? What about number four? Mhm. Yeah, that's humor, right? He adds humor in the story. And also he gives you examples of similes comparing. Oh, no, that was the previous one, right? Why do you think the townspeople reacted positively? Because the sneeze was a melody, because it was different, right? Bob was not ashamed anymore. He even, oh, what did he do? What did he do so that his sneeze wasn't a problem anymore? Mhm. Thanks to the birds and their tweets, Bob started taking singing lessons so that his sneezes sound melodic. Mhm. Dancing and singing, exactly. Very perfect. Imagine you were in Bob's shoes. How would you feel if your sneezes suddenly turn into musical performance? And how might you react differently than Bob did? Okay, let's see number 5. Mhm. Try to put the situation. I will feel embarrassed. Okay. I will feel ashamed. Mhm. Okay. If I were Bob, I will go to see a doctor. Totally understandable because it's not something normal. It's peculiar, and you will ask the doctor, why is this happening to me? Right? Bob's number 6. Bob's unusual talent turned him into a local celebrity. Do you think fame and attention always bring happiness? Why or why not? Exactly. Fame and attention sometimes do not bring happiness, right? Because sometimes you spend too much time working out of town, far away from your family. You miss special occasions, and you became or you start feeling absent, not from your reality, from your people, from your family, from your relatives. Mhm. Sometimes it's quite hard to balance this type of life for famous people, right? And what about this one? 7. Excellent. Mhm. Excellent, Lady D. Fame doesn't give you happiness. It's better to live a humble life far away from the spotlights, like a normal human being, right? What lesson or message do you think the author is trying to convey through this story? What lesson? Accept each other. Mhm. But I believe it's accept you as you are. Don't try to change to make other people feel better. Live your own life, and you have a special characteristics, you have a special talents, you have a special abilities, and that's you. And nobody must say, I don't like you because you are this or that. No, I like you, I respect you, and I accept you, even though you might feel or think differently than me. Mhm. Excellent. Self acceptation. Good. Excellent. I hope you like this story. What about this? We should love ourselves. Exactly. First, you need to love yourself to love others. That's true. Okay, number 1. Bob's sneezes were completely normal and didn't have any unusual effects. Aha, very good. That's false. Mhm. Number 2. Bob was well prepared for his sneeze. When it finally happened, did he have a tissue? Did he have a toilet paper? Or did he have a handkerchief? Nothing, right? So he wasn't prepared for that. Even though he knew that he had this problem, he wasn't prepared. What about number 3? The townspeople were initially frightened by Bob's sneezes and tried to avoid him. False. Number 4. Bob's sneezes became a source of joy and entertainment for the townspeople. Excellent. True. And finally, Bob's response to his newfound fame was to become arrogant and self-centered. False. Mm-hmm. Very good. Mm-hmm. Let's continue working with our true-false sentences. The study suggests that unique qualities or talents can sometimes lead to unexpected and positive outcomes. Very good. True. Number 7. The birds in the story helped Bob turn his sneeze into a harmonious melody intentionally. Mhm. Number 8. The townspeople in the story were initially skeptical and critical of Bob's sneeze performances. Very good. Perfect. That's false. Number 9. Bob's singing lessons improved the quality of his sneeze performances. Very good, true. And finally, the story ends with Bob losing his ability to sneeze in a unique way. Oh, it's very good. Okay, let's continue. Okay. In this part, I've considered to give you a takeaway, a summary of the different conjunctions that we have learned or that we can find in English. For example, this is one of the fanboys. And in this fanboy can also have these conjunctions. Moreover, furthermore, in addition, besides, what's more, likewise, as well, in addition. All of these new words that you have here are more complex to use than an. If you constantly use an, these conjunctions that are in the box are going to help you add some variation to your writings and speaking part. Okay? On the other hand, we have this one, but. And then we have however, otherwise, whereas, although, in spite of, on the one hand, in contrast to, contrary to, by contrast, and yet. I've considered to give you here the conjunctions and also some examples so that you can see what is the real intention of each conjunction? What, how to use it in context? Okay, so I've considered another one here. For example, because, and over here on the left, you have different variations like because of, on account of, owing to, due to, in order to, and given that. So these are some of the words that you can use to make variations in your writings. So and then can be used with this. Thus, hence, therefore, thereby, accordingly, consequently, as a result. Now, as I mentioned, I'm giving you the words and also some examples that you can check in order to study or review more these conjunctions. What else do we have over here? Also, we have some more with sometimes. You can use at times, frequently, occasionally, once in a while, on and off, once in a blue moon. When we talk about every day, we can use daily, constantly, on a daily basis, on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis, regularly, and usually. When we want to exchange the use of for example, you can say for instance, you can say like, such as, namely. This means that is to say. Also, if you want to change a lot of, you can say plenty of, a number of, a great deal of, and a bunch of. See, I'm giving you a list of many things. Also, right here, you have, if you want to change the word very, you can say such plus an adjective plus a noun. Rather, quiet, pretty, highly. And for maybe, you have by any chance, might, perhaps, possibly, to be likely to be unlikely to. There is a high likelihood. I stand a chance. Maybe. You can use these expressions to replace the word maybe. So I think this is a good list that you can study and refer to for future reference. We are going to do some quizzes now. I'm sorry. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Please get in. Over there. I'm going to close this window so that I can go into the quizzes. Okay, let me know if you can get in. It's not possible, I think. Okay, let me see over here. If I can do it. Invalid code. Okay. And what about now? Now, can you try it again? No? Impossible? No? You can't get in? No, no? What a pity. What's happening? Mm, okay, la petición, no sé. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna send. I'm gonna put the link again. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this is working or not. Okay, over here, over here. Let me check. Yep. Let's see. Okay. Now, can you try it with that one? Can you try with a new one? It worked? Yes. With this one? With that ways. Very good. Mercedes, good. Mm-hmm. Good. Let's start. Very good, Victor. Who else finished? Very good, Stephanie. Next time. Okay. We're also let's finish. Okay. So we can continue. And this. You Thank you so much for participating and for being so active in today's class. I hope you have enjoyed our class today. Thank you for being on time. And we are going to call Miss Monica so that she can say goodbye to you to our next class, until our next class. Okay?
Muchísimas gracias, maestra Jenny.
Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, maestra Jenny, por la clase impartida. Fue una excelente clase, estimados participantes. Felicitarles a cada uno de ustedes por haber culminado nuestra segunda sesión de clase. Asimismo, invitarles a seguir nuestra página, que ya contamos con más de 25 cursos gratuitos habilitados para el mes de diciembre. Por favor, aprovechar al máximo y pueden invitar a sus amigos, familiares o amistades, o si no, para mayor información, por favor comunicarse con el siguiente numerito que está en la pantallita para poderlos ayudar a cada uno de ustedes. Asimismo, invitarles a ser partícipe de este gran sorteo. Si este año estamos cumpliendo un año más de aniversario en nuestra institución el 5 de diciembre. Para que usted pueda ser partícipe de este gran sorteo, primeramente tiene que cumplir los 3 pasos. Comenta tu experiencia y etiqueta a tus 3 amigos, comparte la publicación que sea público y síguenos en nuestras 3 redes sociales para que usted pueda ser partícipe de este gran sorteo. Comunicado importante, ojito aquí, sí, nosotros como institución no hacemos llamadas ni tampoco enviamos mensajes personales. Quien les habla, quien les saluda, soy la asistente académica Mónica Costa, quien les estará acompañando en el curso. Para cualquier duda o consulta, por favor, comunicarse con mi persona con el siguiente numerito que está en la pantallita para poderlos ayudar a cada uno de ustedes. El día de hoy nos ha impartido una hermosa clase y también su conocimiento. Sí, por favor, no se olviden de nuestros horarios. Nos vemos el día martes en nuestra tercera sesión de clases y frecuencia. Martes y jueves, horario de 4 a 6 de la tarde, tendremos 2 semanas de nuestra capacitación. Asimismo, les recomiendo que tomemos una foto o una captura del temario para que tengamos en cuenta los temas que estaremos aprendiendo durante nuestras 2 semanas de capacitación. Sobre nuestra metodología, recuerde que la clase es grabada y se estará enviando a su grupo de WhatsApp, asimismo el material para que usted pueda repasar y poner en práctica. Su grupo de WhatsApp se envía toda la información. Sí, asimismo, al finalizar el curso, usted hará un examen para que pueda tramitar su certificado de manera opcional. Al finalizar el curso, usted obtendrá un certificado con mención en inglés avanzado C1 a nombre de nuestra institución. El certificado sale con 90 horas académicas. Si usted me pregunta, señorita, ¿por qué sale con 90 horas académicas? Claro que sí sale, porque cuando usted va a tramitar, tendrá como regalo el campus virtual habilitado por más de 2 años. ¿Cómo estaremos en contacto? Por esa razón sale con 90 horas académicas. Para que usted pueda tramitar, tiene que tener una nota mayor e igual a 14. El costo es muy simbólico, de 30 soles. Es para mantener sostenible nuestra institución y para brindar más cursos gratuitos. El trámite es opcional, pero como institución le recomendamos que tramite. Recuerda que el certificado avala tu conocimiento. Los participantes que van a tramitar tendrán como regalo el campus virtual. En el campus virtual usted va a encontrar materiales, manuales y videos adicionales. Y también recuerda que el certificado cuenta con un sistema de código de validación que es el código QR. Para mayor información, por favor, comunicarse con la oficina de certificación con el siguiente numerito que está en la pantallita para poderlos ayudar a cada uno de ustedes. Asimismo, hacemos envíos a nivel nacional. De manera digital se envía a su WhatsApp personal por PDF y por otro lado que hacemos envíos de manera física a nivel nacional. Nuestra institución trabaja con la empresa Shalom. Para cualquier duda o consulta, por favor, comunicarse con mi persona con el siguiente numerito que está en la pantallita para poderlos ayudar a cada uno de ustedes. Que tengan una bonita tarde y una bonita semana muy bendecida para cada uno de ustedes. Asimismo, estamos eternamente agradecidos con cada uno de ustedes por ser parte de nuestra familia y también por confiar en nuestra institución. Por favor, no olviden de repasar y poner en práctica. Muchas bendiciones y muchos abrazos, queridos participantes. Nos vemos el día martes en nuestra tercera sesión. Muy buenas tardes con cada uno de ustedes, queridos, estimados participantes.